Should I start to share?
Yes, 1 second.
Okay,
Go ahead.
okay. Really horrible at this. Hmm. Can everybody see that?
Is coming. Okay, perfect. Can make full screen mode.
Okay, how do I do that again? I do this every day and I always forget. Not every day, but can you see it
On
okay?
Yeah, if you go on the right corner, the second icon is
The
the full
right
screen.
here.
Right down corner, right down.
That's left. Down, that's right. Okay.
The
And the
second
second
icon is the full screen presentation.
is notification. I've done this before, but it never works for me. I
Or
don't
you can
see
press
it.
S5, F5.
F5. Oh, didn't know you could do that. F5. No?
No? So
I
is
told you my computer doesn't like me, so just so you know.
okay. But it's okay, we can see the same. So maybe we can start. So
Or did you want to upload it?
no, it's okay, you can go.
That's fine. All right.
Okay, so welcome back to the Climate Social Forum 2025 on the second day. Our main topics this year is the soil, and today we are gonna connect the soil also with the sustainable living. And in fact, there is already with her presentation our first keynote speaker that is Joan Kerr. Joan Kerr is part of the Climate Social Forum. Also, we are partnering with her association. Now we'll tell more about that. And so I take the chance to welcome you to the second day of the Climate Social Forum. Thanks for being again with us. And I leave the floor directly to Joan, which I thank for being here and for like presenting for us. Thank you very much, Joan. The floor is yours.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. This is such a an amazing quickly arranged conference. So I'm just going to have a few slides for you, and hopefully we'll have some time for questions. But if not, we'll wait until everyone else has spoken, and then we can answer some questions. But do feel free to ask questions. So let's get into it. So, as I said, my name is Joan Kerr. I am an entrepreneur. I've had my own business since 1979. And just to say that I wanted to have my own business because I'm an independent thinker. And I figure that most people don't like independent thinkers. I had noticed that when I was a teenager. So I started my own business, and I wanted to have a sort of a sustainable lifestyle. Now, I didn't use that term at the time. It was called the alternative living lifestyle in Toronto, Ontario, because everybody else was for corporate. All of our friends were working in the corporate world. But my husband and I decided that we kind of wanted to live differently. And so we grew our own food when we were married, didn't work as much as everybody else, and came up with really great, wonderful ways of living. And it's one of my best memories of being early married. And of course, things changed later. I also founded the Foundation for Building Sustainable Communities in 2003, because after doing a number of projects, I noticed that people were always making decisions in silos and not an ecosystem for their organization or even their lifestyles. Before that, I ran a women's resource center that focused on business and personal development for small entrepreneurs because that's what I was. And I focused on women because at the time I had a young child and was a mother and a wife and doing community work. And so I wanted to sort of help with those sorts of women who were struggling with different things, how do you set priorities and strategies and but still I wanted to live a sustainable life. So going to the farmers market, things like that, which took time. I'm also the chair for the IEEE, which is the Institute for Electrical and Electronics Engineers in a program called Smart Village, and I'm the chair for the North American Regional Committee. I've been doing that been part of that since 2009, unofficially and officially as 2015. So today I'm just going to go through the rigors of soil fertility and just to give you some ideas about our programs. I wanted to say that when I was growing up, I grew up on a sustainable farm. We didn't call it that, it was home, but we grew our own food, had a grocery store, sold to the community, made things, and that was a good way of earning living. So I come from that sort of background. One thing I want to say that the foundation is in consultative status for sustainable development with the UN. And in 2005, we won the World Summit Award for Best in Content and Creativity. So we're pretty happy about that. And that was before the award was actually, we did that project before the award was created. So it was quite nice to win that. I'm also part of Rotary, which is an EE club that we formed between Rotary and Smart Village. And so I've been involved with that since its inception, one of the founding members. So that's, you'll see why I say all of these things before. So, I want to point out that when I was growing up, my grandmother always told me that the soil was very important. And of course, as a young child, you had no idea what that means. She was a really great farmer, and I learned a lot from her for growing food. And she actually set the basis for me to love food. I love food, but good food. Um, so she never used the words that we're using today, but basically what she's saying is that it was as important to have good soil as it was to have bright sunshine. That's what she was saying because it was all connected. So everyone here depends on the soil for their food because that's what oops, that's not where I want to go. Whoop. Sorry, that's where food grows. Now, I know we have food in greenhouses and all that kind of stuff, but the soil is what we depend on. And um the we treat it like it's, we use the word dirt and we have this perception that dirt is disposable. It's gone, but it's not. Soil is a living organism. And if we start to learn about it, we actually become very passionate about saving what's there because it's alive. And it's giving us those nutrients that we need to grow our vegetables. So it's a gift to us. And so we have to learn to appreciate that gift and take care of it. But in the last, as we know, lots of changes in the climate. I know that I'll talk about it in a minute, but we ran a 10-acre garden slash farm. And I can tell you in those years we ran it about 12 years. The difference between the first year and the last year in terms of the weather, because we tracked everything, was, 1 year, it was so hot. I live in Canada, by the way. It was so hot that even when we were putting water, it was like literally drying up. And it was so hard to even being outside. So I've experienced it. So anything I'm telling you today is stuff that I've experienced. I don't talk about stuff I don't experience. So, um, the seasons became more and more intensive in terms of attention to the soil. And so we need to literally make better decisions about how we nourish, care and nourish the soil, because it also then gives us back that nourishment for ourselves. And we have to remember that soil actually plays a key role in food security, what we eat, and it provides those nutrients for the food, and food security in terms of supporting local communities. And I love this graphic because it shows that network. We talk about the internet and network, but the soil is actually the first, I think, graphic of this network all around. So if we learn anything, nature has had it long, long ago. So the soil also protects the ecosystem, because I think ecosystem, anything I do, I think of ecosystems. How does it work? How does it connect to something else? And that's what the soil does. It's not just about growing your own food, it's about supporting all of the growing things. And so if we really look at it, protecting our soil is actually for our own common good, and we're all here because we want to do the common good. So we know that the current systems are not enough. Farmers are facing rising costs, their unpredictable weather, and so we need to do things that help them. One of the things that we focus mostly on our small farmers and consumers, like um, homeowners is what I mean. So we design it mostly to start, because one of the things that the foundation wants to do is make things easy and get the general community to get involved, because it's easy for, and I'm speaking from my own community mostly, it's easy for someone to say it's someone else's problem. Oh, it's over there. It's not our problem. But everything, if somebody else, whatever happens, affects us all, and we have to care for the common good. And the climate doesn't have borders. Climate change doesn't have borders. I can tell you in the last few days, we've had a snowstorm, like it's so cold, and the wind, even the internet was being affected. And I mean, we live in a pretty good area. So I'm like, oh my gosh. But I don't think I've ever seen it so cold at Christmas time. So, as I said, we know that there's rising costs for farmers. So there's an economic issue. Obviously, there's a social issue, because if you don't have food, you can't have events. And I'm very much about food and events happening together. But as someone said yesterday, I think it was Nora, just because you're saying just because there's a saying that you're going to produce more food, does that mean that it's better food? Because there's so much plastics and guck, I'm going to call it, in your food. So we need to make decisions about how we grow food and what we grow it in. So and this is, even though we're mostly focused on homeowners and small farmers, it's not about competition. I just want to say, because we need an integrated food system. Farmers are not going to be able to feed everyone. So if we all collaborate and support small farms and trade food between neighbors, I'm saying it because we do it. I think we can have a good local food system going. So I just wanted to say that the challenges are large. They're sometimes called wicked problems. But the reason we use the word challenge is because we can come up with solutions that we can use, and not just solutions about how to increase yields, but make decisions about how sustainable it is. And I'm using the word sustainable because we need to make decisions that are not just for this year, it's for always. And that's one of the things that my family was very good at teaching us, is to take care of each other, of the community, of people. And so that's really like deep inside of me whenever I think of something. So Anyway, I wanted to introduce our project, which is called the Climate Smart Victory Garden. And when we ran the 10-acre demonstration garden, which showed people how, first of all, we did it because we wanted to have events and like festivals and fun things with food. But then people started getting really interested in how to grow food. And I'm talking about people in Southern Ontario, Canada. And so they had lost touch with how to grow their own food, but they loved the taste. And many of them said, "Oh, I remember going to my grandmother's grandparents' farm, and we used to eat, and we used to go out into the garden and get pumpkins and get cucumbers and all of this, and they had forgotten the taste." So what ended up happening was they asked for a teaching garden. So we created the demonstration and teaching garden at the site. And after that, they then asked, can you teach us more
15 seconds झाले
formally?
माझे पैसे
Uh,
हा
One
think
second, one
somebody,
second.
yeah, yeah, no worries. So we tried a lot of ways on how to make it simple and fun, because that's one of our challenges at the foundation is how do we not preach the gloom and doom, because I'm not into that. So we tried different models, having part of the garden being an orchard or greenhouse, container gardens. And then we came up with, we said, well, what is it that we're trying to do? We didn't want it to be just like people just grow a few vegetables, and we wanted them to learn. So we tried some other models, and one of them that we found that really fit our goals and our messaging was the Victory Garden, which was created 100 years ago, which was because of the war. And so they had a campaign where the British government, so it's based on the British government's model. And so they had to teach people how to grow food because there was so many issues of food insecurity and transportation and all the things that we're facing today. That they had to deal with. So we really liked it because the components were awareness, civic engagement, canning and preserving, country kitchens, and entrepreneurship. And we're like, oh, that's a really great model. So we took that model, all of the components, and we added the issues of today, which are soil health, climate change, the different technologies, and we called it the Climate Smart Victory Garden. So it's an historic model, but it's also a modern model for us. And so what we're trying to do is that say, okay, we want to teach people about the importance of soil health. But one of the things that we've been doing for the last 17 years is teach people about sustainable living. So we've hosted over 38 events looking from technology to conservation to Earth Days and gardening. Like, I mean, the subject was waste management, recycling, or how to reuse things. We used to talk about, this is 2009, repurposing, which people didn't even know what that word was then. So, how to repurpose things and reuse them. So the messaging was that we wanted to take someone from the soil right to everyday living, but to live sustainably. So one of the things in our house that we do is we'll turn off the water for half a day and say, what would you do if there was no water? So we've come up with a really great way of how to, just on a daily basis, what would we do if there was no water? What would we do if there was no electricity? Remember, it's cold in Canada. So what happens if you have no heat? How would you act? So we developed this whole model to take people through what we call the pathways of learning how to not just grow food, but then how to cook, store it, being a conserver, if you of both energy and water, on an everyday basis. But learning all of the other fundamental things that you need to happen, like it's, how do you mulch your soil on your garden or your small farm? Well, we're not looking at big farms because we don't have any experiences on that at all. But the whole idea is to take them in a fun way, to share their food as well. Like we have two neighbors, and everybody was growing the same things all the time, and then everybody has cucumbers and tomatoes, and so we got them to share different vegetables, and we share it together, and we also cook together and share and say, oh, this. So there's a competition on how we cook and how we share it, which has become quite fun. So you can have fun while saving the environment. And at the end of it, we really want to, in addition to creating resilience and self-reliance, is this whole community of climate smart gardeners. So that it's not just about being a gardener, it's that how you use your knowledge to also live sustainably. So I talk a little bit about the education in terms of what we're trying to achieve. So we came up with a model that, went from the soil to sustainable living and using the garden as a living classrooms, because you're always going to be learning different things in your garden. So it takes us, if someone joins it, they can take the courses and learn the whole spectrum, or they can take one thing if they want. Like we designed it so that people could take just one module, or all of the master training program. Um, uh, and then they have three paths that they can choose. They can choose to be a homeowner, so just learning how to grow their own food and cook and more on a friendly basis. Or even do a little garden. We sell some of our produce, and I live in the suburbs. Sometimes we give it away most of the time, but we create something called the opportunity pathways. So they can choose to be a certified Victory Gardener facilitator, sort of like an extension officer, but adding the whole technology and the climate smart agriculture components with the Victory Garden, which the Victory Garden is about, growing food for the nutrient value, growing so that you're actually addressing nutrition in what you grow. They can start a business, a market garden. So we take them through that, how to start it, maintain it, and the opportunities. But obviously, you have to work with different people from different areas. And we're in the process of creating a global marketplace so that our community gardeners and market gardeners can sell their products and wares. I hope I'm not going too fast, but we can get to the questions at some point. One of the biggest things is that we'll certify people as a climate smart Victory Garden. And that's a rigorous process that they have to do. And it has to be renewed every year as well. So that especially if they want to do a market garden, they have to do that. Get certified every year. So again, it's about food security and buying things. Uh, this is a garden where you can invite people, and you see how pretty everything is. Food is it should be enjoyable, and I mean, I love food, but again, it's just teaching people that you can have fun, you can save the environment, you can have nutritious food, you can reduce the waste, and so that's one of the things. Food loss and food waste are two big things. There's enough food for everyone, so don't waste it. So that we give these sorts of messaging every day. So, and again, this one is because Domenico said, just a few days ago, oh, you want to do a presentation? I was like, okay. I was like, what do we really, which of the SDGs do we want to focus on? But we actually missed one here, which is number 3. Healthy communities is one of our biggest endeavors. And obviously, the soil starts with being healthy. You have a healthy soil, you have healthy crops, you have healthy bodies, you have a healthy planet. So it's a big deal. So I just wanted to say we'd like to invite you to become part of our garden group and promote it. But if not, just learn how to grow food sustainably and protect the environment and adapt and to the climate that's always changing. And so that's my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Joan, for your presentation. I don't know if there are questions or comments or interaction for Joan.
It's a lot to cover in, and I can talk forever. So thank you. No questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
Meanwhile, so actually, uh, in which moment do you think that, for example, the Victory Garden model? So how did you reach out to the Victory Garden model? That it's an interesting one, but you say it was like coming from the Victorian also
Yeah.
tradition and so on. That's very peculiar. So it's a question.
Yes. Yes. I because I love entrepreneurship and there was an entrepreneurship side to the food. But in 1990, I was watching a show on TV Ontario, sorry, public broadcasting, which PBS it's called in the US, and they had a show called The Victory Garden, but they were only showing the food that was you grow in your garden, you could cook. And I'm a new Canadian, so I wanted to learn how to cook like Western cooking. So I was very interested in that. And then when I just fell in love with the whole idea of that, Canadians could grow their own food because I grew up like that, but I didn't see it here. They go to the grocery store and that wasn't something I was used to. And I was like, oh my God. So it was like a light, like, oh, you can grow your own food and cook it and give it to people. And so that was my first response. So that was in 1990. So that when we did the garden, like I said, I wanted to recreate what we had when I was growing up, which was our family would invite people to come because we grew our own food, had our own animals and everything, and we were right in the middle of the city. And we sold food but we used to have events. It wasn't just about food. You'd have dancing and you'd have, people sitting and talking and it was just wonderful. It was community. So I just put them all together. So that's how it came about. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yes, nice, and thank you very much. And
And also I'm
also,
an environmentalist, so the climate smart part of it came because I always wanted to address the whole environmental issue.
thank you, no, that's great. And also, it's nice to see that also till the Victorian age there is this idea to grow their own food
Yeah.
that we abandon maybe for like I don't know the mass production. Okay,
Mhm.
but indeed was still into the Victorian age. So thanks to the initiative that you are running, for example, we are taking back to that movement and that practices. I don't know if there are other questions for Joan.
Hello.
Yes, Dr.
Hey.
Dumbre, hi, how are you?
Hi, Domenico.
How is it going?
Actually,
So,
I don't have any question, but I want to explain something to you. I was in Amravati, which is in Maharashtra state of India, and there was one agriculture college where I took one training for the students and farmers. And from that, one teacher has joined us today, Prapti Dande. Okay. So this is a newcomer for us. lady. She has joined us today, and she will be representing Vidarbha area of Maharashtra state in our group. I will say. Okay. So
Fantastic,
this is
fantastic. Thank you very
yeah, yeah.
much for including her.
Prapti, can you explain your introduction, please, to your other members, please?
I don't know if
Hello,
she's there.
she is there.
Prapti is the name.
Hello,
Yes, Prapti. I think is the name Prapti, right?
yeah, Prapti, Prapti Dande.
Yeah. She need to connect the audio. Let's do like
Okay,
that. We will give to her the floor also because now there is a speaker that I think you have to follow because we were gonna talk about bees. But before going to the next speaker of today, I want to ask to Joan. We are, as I said, with Joan, we are collaborating also with Climate Social Forum to an initiative properly addressed to educate and create capacity building on Victory Gardens. I don't know, John, if you want to mention and tell something for the next year.
Sure. Yeah, so this is a great forum to do it, by the way. So we've created a series of 4 modules to introduce the community to climate smart Victory Gardens. So it looks at Victory Gardens. Oh, somebody's cooking, and it introduces them to the Victory Garden, climate smart agriculture, and they have to start a garden themselves or help at a garden. So it's a 4-week course. It's scheduled for 8 weeks, but there's only 4 modules. But we give them time to also do the service component of it, and there's an exam. And after that, they can we will. This is the first time we're offering it to a larger group. We used to do them just at the garden, and then we'll take what we receive any feedback. By the way, I've never done a course for a self-paced course on Zoom. So I've always been face to face. So we will be I think it's scheduled for the 30th of January. So if anybody wants information about that, we will be happy to sign you up. And it's free in terms of the course is not free, but you can apply for a scholarship if that helps. So
Thank you, John. And just showing
yeah.
our capacity building hub, and we will host there the course. Of course, we will get acknowledged about the initiative, but here in the Climate Social Forum was nice to share this great opportunity and this idea that we're gonna foster together with Joan. So thank you very much, Joan, for this course
Thank
and
you.
also for the talk. If there are no other comments or interaction with Joan, let's go to the next speaker. That is Giuliana Cageni. Are you there, Giuliana? Are you there? Giuliana Loshiro Cageni, are you there?
Yes,
Hi, Juliana. How are you? And welcome. Juliana is our indigenous people officer. She's also an indigenous lady from Kenya, and she's very connected also with soil, with agriculture, because she's a beekeeper, no? And she's gonna
yeah.
talk a little bit about her activity. She's also running now several initiatives also to advocate and to spread the word about her culture and also beekeeping. So the floor is yours, Juliana, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you so much, Domenico. Hi, everyone. As Domenico mentioned, my name is Juliana Loshiro, and good morning. Maybe it's morning for others. Good afternoon, good evening to others. From Kenya, it's evening. I'm happy this afternoon or this evening to be your speaker today. I'm a bee whisperer, whereby I have a traditional knowledge to how to speak to bees, how to treat them, and to care to them. I'm running an indigenous youth-led organization where I'm trying to revive our culture, language, and even restoring our ecosystems. Today, I'm so humbled and happy, not only to speak as a practitioner or an advocate, but someone shaped by soil and by land that fed my people. As a hunter-gatherer community, we have not been depending on farming, but later on we had to adapt on it. This taught us our patience. Also, it held our stories across generations. And today I invite us to remember, it's just a simple truth about it. Every future we are fighting for begins in the soil. And today, the reflection on this is that is reminding us that soil is not silent. It remembers how we treat it most of the time. And I can tell you guys that today that always know that soil is alive and soil carries memory. Soil connects food and it also connects our culture and the survival. And as I said, soil is alive. I can really say that soil is not dead. Matter beneath our feet. It is alive, yeah. It breathes and it listens and it remembers what we do always. In many indigenous communities, as I say, I come from an indigenous community, soil is not simply called land, because most of us, we call it land. It is called mother. It's our ancestor and it is our home. We call it our ancestral land, our ancestral home always. As I said, the soil remembers the care of hands that composted, rotated crops, and rested the land. And soil also remembers violence of chemicals, let me say, the extraction and being pushed beyond its limit. Today can say that when soil is wounded, it cries through anger. That's where we find the displacement and conflict. When soil is healed, it responds with life. And if I can say that why soil matters to us now, I say that soil is the center of multiple crises. I can speak of 95% of global food depends on soil. And soil degradation drives from the hunger and malnutrition, climate vulnerability, biodiversity loss. And to be sure, like always, soil loss in ecological and social injustices. Sometimes we often speak about climate change as something in the sky, carbon emissions, temperature. But climate change also lives in the ground. 95% of us said our food we eat comes from the soil. Yet soils are being degraded faster than they can recover. Yeah. This is not only the environment crisis, it is moral one. Yeah. Those who have cared for soil the longest, small-scale farmers, indigenous peoples, women, are paying the highest price for its destruction. I can really speak about the soil as commons, from extraction to care. Soil is shared living system. Commons-based thinking means collective responsibility for us, intergenerational stewardship, community governance, rooted in indigenous knowledge. For too long, soil has been treated as a commodity, owned, exploited, exhausted, and abandoned. But soil is a commons. It belongs to life itself. A commons depends responsibility, not ownership. It asks us to think beyond profit, beyond election, cycles, and toward children not yet born, for future generations. Indigenous knowledge systems understood this long before modern policy frameworks. They taught us you do not take more than the land can give. And as I can speak on this slide saying that healthy soils is equals to zero hunger. I mean the foundation of sustainable food systems. Healthy soils provide nutritious and diverse food, climate resilience, and even stable farmer livelihood. While degraded soils result in hunger, sometimes farmer debt, fragile food systems. We speak of zero hunger as a global goal, but hunger is not a statistic. It is an empty stomach of a child, unable to learn, a woman skipping meals. Healthy soil is where dignity begins. I can say it gives food nutrition, water is holding power, and farmers' dependence. If the soil is sick, the people will be sick. It starts from the soil. What are we feeding? The bees can be sick because whatever that tree is getting for the nectar to be produced, all that, the food is toxic for the bees. So the bees can get sick. So what are we doing if we're not treating the soil or we're not taking care of the soil? There's no shortcut around this truth, I can tell. Let's go to agroecology. Yeah, agroecology, working with nature, not against it most of the time. It's regenerates soil health, protects biodiversity and pollinators. Yeah, and it centers indigenous and local knowledge and restore farmer dignity. Practices include like composting and mulching, as we do as farmers, intercropping and agroforestry. Like, for example, agroforestry, we are using it to connect it with our culture, like a word forest dictionary. We plant trees with words. Our language is lost, so we revive back our language and culture through word forest dictionary. As tree grows, our language grows and our culture grows. We also do the seed saving. Agroecology is not new for us, as we know. It is an ancient knowledge we are finally learning from respect again. Some see as if it is new, but it is for sure. It asks us to listen to the land, to observe, the seasons, insect, soil texture, and plants that grow together. And you see that agroecology is restoring more than soil. It restores confidence in farmers, pride in communities, and balance in all ecosystems. It is the resistance against systems that trap farmers in debt and dependency. If we look at the sustainable living, soil beyond the farm, as we think, the consumption patterns shape our soil health. Food waste is wasted soil, if I can say that. Sustainable living means local food systems, seasons diets, respect for farmers. Soil does not live only in rural areas. Others think it's just live in rural areas. It lives even in the cities, markets, kitchens, and on our planet. Every meal is a soil decision. Every wasted plate of food, I can say, is also soil wasted. Sustainable living connects the people to the land and to the hands that feed all of us. When we see the small farmers, I always say those who feed the world must be protected. They produce over 70% of the global food and most vulnerable to the climate impacts, least supported by the forming policies and the financing, which by they need to be educated and climate resilient knowledge to them and secure land and soil rights. We're seeing land tenure rights being violated in most of the ways, and giving them the fair markets and inclusive policies. Small-scale farmers feed the world, yet they are often invisible in decision-making spaces. This speaks like, it's true. They face floods, drought, rising costs, and shrinking land with minimal support. Protecting soils means protecting farmers, and protecting farmers means protecting cultures. Our cultures means it's what holds all the knowledge and the future generations can get from it. If I say the local soils, global justice, I can say from community fields in global agendas, healthy soil support, SDG2, as my fellow speaker spoke about, SDG2, zero hunger, and SDG 13, climate action, and SDG 15, that is life on land, and food sovereignty and justice. Global frameworks will fail if they do not touch the soil beneath people's feet, And climate justice cannot be delivered only through negotiations. We think it can be delivered through negotiations. I can really say no. It must be grown session by session in communities also. We need the hubs, we need the side events in the communities, okay, that can help us. When local soils are respected, global justice become possible for us. If I can say, my second last slide is that soil call to action. What must change now? Recognize soil as a living commons. Invest in agroecology at scale. Protect indigenous and community land rights. Center frames in climate policy. If I speak about how our indigenous community lands are being violated, evictions everywhere, and all that happening, call to action is to be respected. Our lands should be respected and it should be protected. Move beyond COP. We're thinking of COP every time, but let's move beyond COP promises to accountability. What or who are we accountable of that? Let us be honest. Let's not make more promises. We need courage. Courage to protect the land, the courage to invest in people, the courage to trust communities. Let this forum be remembered, not for speeches, but for turning care into policy. We have to listen to the soil. Soil teaches patience. Soil rewards the care. And soil holds the future. If we heal the soil, I tell you, we heal food systems, communities, and the climate. We really need the change, but I know it might take time. But as soil, it teaches us hope every time. Even the most damaged soil can heal. It is given care and it gets well. If we heal the soil, we heal food systems, as I've just said. Today, I want us to think of this, or to digest this. As we close, I invite us to pause. Just a minute from my space. Not to look forward yet, but to look down to the soil beneath our feet. The soil that remembers us. Even when we forget it, soil is not an object. That it is not an input to be exhausted, as we say soil is life. In a proverb, in African proverb that say, the earth is not inherited from our ancestors, it is borrowed from our children. Let's keep in our minds that, and in case you have any question, I'm really here to respond to you, yeah, and to give any thoughts that I have from my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Juliana. Really, it was a super powerful speech. Really, I congratulate and a big applause, even virtual, to you. Thank you for remembering us the value of soil and also the connection that we have to bring back. Also, if you want to have like a better living as a community, also in the cities. You mentioned also the cities, and that's right. In the cities, the soil has been anthropized a lot, but is there in several forms. So thank you very much. I don't know if there are some question or comment interaction with Juliana. Feel free to raise your hand or write in the chat. So a lot of little hearts for Juliana. Thank you very much. It's been very inspiring. Again, I don't know if there are some question or comment for Juliana.
I have one. Hi, Juliana. Thank you for your presentation. A lot of North Americans say that honey from Africa, different countries in Africa, oh, it's so great, they're healing, blah, 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 blah. And I always caution them that the bees are eating from a local area. And so, biomimicry and all this kind of stuff, bioregionalism, so that you're also breathing in the air from that area. So I was wondering, have you done anything that would educate people about the healing powers of bees?
Thank you so much, John. I have a school. I didn't mention about it. I was focusing with the
Oh, yeah. I'm the same way. So many things to talk about. So, yes.
good question. I didn't mention I have a school called Yaku Center of Hope, whereby we are really teaching our children, our young generation on the healing part using our herbs, whereby now from the Yaku Center of Hope, it has separated the Bee Whisperer project from the Language Culture Initiative. So the Bee Whisperer project is the one that is hosting the children, other people globally, and other people from the locality, the Kenya, my country, and other people from East Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, coming to learn from our school on the treatment of the bees. And we have an upcoming Bee Whisperer Center. By April next year, we'll be establishing it, and it will be registered with the government. So as our beekeepers will be coming there to learn. I have written myself books, and I'm just waiting for the approval from the KCD and other parts of the Beekeeping Institute, the Ministry of Agriculture from my country, to approve them for the beekeepers to be using it. Though locally it's being used by everyone in Kenya, they are using it for the thriving colony and how to train people on treating them and really showing or doing it practically for them to understand when a bee is sick, to identify when the bee is not well, and really to understand the herbs that we are using. So it's a whole process that we have the books, we have elders with my support helping them to understand and to get everything with their fingertips and doing it in their own homes or in their own apiaries at their villages or their countries. And also I have a very good social media let me say, teaching part on my LinkedIn, Juliana Kageni, the Bee Whisperer. You'll see me always teaching people and giving them the ideas, using maybe the charts, all that. Soon I will be having the website to also teach and reach out to many people to understand and to get all these hubs. And most of the countries have the hubs, some of them don't have. So they export from our place. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, what is the name of your project? Bee
Whisperer.
Bee Whisper, okay. Because I wrote a toolkit on this is I'm gonna say 11 years ago, and it's called, because I'm an artist, and it's called Be Creative. And it's how to mix your it's a pollinator garden, essentially, how to create it, but how to be creative with the garden to encourage the bees. So no, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, John and Juliana. And I really want to highlight the LinkedIn of Juliana is amazing. I suggest to follow. There are super nice tips and super nice inspirational content. So thank you very much. I see Michael. Michael raised the hand to for a question or comment. Please, Michael.
Yes, thank you for the floor, dear leader. I have to thank all the panelists of today's session. So they are very amazing, actually. I followed the first one with the living school, the garden, the living school. So it was very amazing. Actually, as I didn't get the opportunity, I have to thank her, and I wish to maybe to collaborate as we are doing the same things in the same domain. So for the second one, Julian Kageni, I do appreciate because she's doing something similar of what we are doing. I personally am a beekeeper since the age of 11 years old up to now, and we are just we are leading just a different training in DRC and Congo in east side, and then I'll be willing so that we may be linking the force because there are different sub products like propolis, wax, which are very valuable at our zone. So in case we could try to see how we can add more value on this, we can try to see how we can collaborate together. So I do appreciate today's session. As long as we are still connected, all the best for our panelists. So the last question which I could ask to Julian, so how they are just running this apitherapy the use of honey and the sub-products of honey for curing people. And the second one, it will be for which among us those techniques to attract bees in different beehives. Which one have been very productive, very attractive, very concrete on their region. So really, we do appreciate because we realized that the soil is only our motherland. Thanks in advance.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Michael. Please, Juliana, go ahead.
Thank you so much, my brother from DRC. I'm just happy. Last week, I had people from DRC coming to my learning center, learning on bees. So I'm really honored to connect with you and help you on the value addition. We are using, we will really connect on that. I can really speak about how we do the honey. We sell the honey separately from other products, and we use the wax waste to make the candles and also to make the Vaselines from it. So no waste can be gotten after extracting the honey, so you can just recycle all other. And also the honey, we use it during drought season to feed our bees. And I can really say about the beehives, the Langstroth have been working perfectly for us after a very long time of using the traditional hives. And I can really see that the bees really love the Langstroth because of the hierarchy respect they have. Because when the bee queen is respected, when it's on the lower bar of the beehive, it really gives the worker bees this good spacious time to work on their work without disturbing the queen, and the drones cannot interrupt their work, and the queen can't interrupt, and they can't interrupt also the queen's behavior in the work. So most of the time, I can really recommend and tell you that they are working well, and it is creating them a good and bigger room. Unlike the Kenya top bar ones, is whereby we can just use a queen separator inside the hive, and sometimes it can cause some confusion when they're really trying to make the honey. And sometimes when the queen and the bees want to really kill the queen most of the time, or maybe when the queens are too. So I can really speak, it's a broad topic to speak about, but when we connect, we'll discuss about it. But I can really refer you to the Langstroth instead of the Kenya top by the traditional hive, because of the harvesting also. It's quite really recommended for us as the beekeepers. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Juliana and Michael. Of course, as we said also yesterday, Climate Social Forum is also a crossroad for meeting and collaborations. So feel free to connect and to synergize. I saw Dr. Dumbre, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to ask Madam regarding the which species of honeybees they are using for honey production, whether it is Apis cerana indica or Apis mellifera.
So, Juliana, Dr. Dumbre was asking which type of bee are you growing? Mellifera or if you can repeat, Dr. Dumbre?
Cerana.
Sidera.
Or any other.
Mellifera are the ones that we have. Most of them are from the indigenous forest. Mellifera are the ones which are more than the others. Especially now we are affected by the climate change. So Apis mellifera are the ones working.
Thank you.
Okay. So you are using Apis mellifera, right?
Yes,
Okay,
Dr. Dumbre. Yes,
understand.
yes. Apis
Yeah.
mellifera.
Understand. She is using Apis mellifera.
Yeah.
In India also we use Apis mellifera for the production of honey as well as wax and other products also. In India also the same species of is used.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Juliana. Thank you for this amazing speech, and also I like the interaction that has been raised up. So feel free, as I say, to connect. Now let's go ahead. We have now Priyabhatra Mukherjee, but I kindly ask Priyabhatra, if possible, to give the floor. We have a very good friend of us with us at the Climate Social Forum, but I know that he has a little bit of time, and I want to give the floor to him. Is Larry Tishkoff. Hi, Larry. How are you?
Hi, Domenico. Thank you. Very good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes, yes. So thank you, Larry, for joining. Thank you very much. We really appreciate your presence here. We are talking about the soil, we are talking about sustainable living. And we mentioned also yesterday, because was with us also Nora, Larry and other colleagues are running a very interesting initiative that is a community of practice. Community of practice, so it gathers different people that are running initiative and so on and so forth, and they are sharing together to learn and to grow together. The community of practice is called Caring for the Future, but I leave Larry to speak about that, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Domenico, for inviting me. I'll try to be brief. Several years ago, I live outside of Jerusalem, between Jerusalem and Tel Aviv in Israel. And I took a course with my uncle that had been taught in sort of a workshop in many college campuses in the United States. But because of COVID, he converted it into online with Zoom for the first time. This was maybe 5 years ago. And I felt that at the time, it was a subject that was extremely important, but that was missing where I live. And I suggested that we investigate the possibility to bring Caring for the Future to the country I live in. And we spoke for about a year, back and forth, who the target audience should be, what we wanted to do, how we wanted to teach, based on what, and so forth. And eventually, we decided to teach school teachers of English. And we've now basically completed 4 iterations, 4 years, where we had approximately 300 teachers who, according to calculations, possibly touched about 5,000 people, because not only did they teach several classes, but they also interacted with their colleagues at their schools, their families, and their neighbors. And so we calculated that what we were teaching, what we were bringing to them, had an incredible impact. Out of that, of those 4 years, grew what we wanted to do next was, as Domenico mentioned, a community of practice, which was to turn to the teachers who had graduated from the course to see who was interested on their own time to continue learning about sustainability, global warming, renewable energy, and all the topics that we had talked about. By the way, we based the first 4 years on Project Drawdown. I assume some of you know, maybe some do not, about that initiative. And Paul Hawken, who created it in September of 2021, had a sequel, which was called Regeneration. So we also integrated some content from Regeneration, as well as we took from various other initiatives, both online and in-person courses. And we then, about a year ago, asked anybody who was our graduates if they would like to join. Thank you. If they would like to join a group of people from all over the world who would discuss in private and also public initiatives in countries where they live, and to see what they might have in common, and what they might be able to share with others. We established a relationship with a gentleman named Edward, who created a place called Edward's Hamlet in Uganda. And without going into details, they took an old farm, a plantation, sugar plantation, and they created a regenerated farm where they're doing all kinds of various plantings of fruits and vegetables, and based on sustainable agriculture and regeneration. They have also, I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think that they have reached out to somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe 100 local Ugandan farmers to teach them principles of how to use agriculture in a way that won't diminish the actual landscape and the soil. Recently, one of our founders, Moran Sol Broza, who actually introduced me to Domenico, both from the United States and from here in Israel, went to COP30 in Brazil. And immediately following the proceedings, she took a trip that was going to last a few days into the Brazilian tropical forest. And that became, I think, either 10 days or 2 weeks. She went to a sustainable farm that blew her out of the water, so to speak, and introduced us to some of the volunteers and some of the people who were working there. And now we want to take that group of people and introduce them to Edward in Africa, in Uganda. Many of the people who are joining us are friends of my uncle's, who, by the way, is a very young 88-year-old man. He has been a school teacher for over 60 years, from first grade to university, and he's been involved in sustainability and global warming initiatives throughout the United States for more than 50 years. So he has people. He lives in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, which is about an hour north of Boston. And he has contacts in that area, and 3 or 4 people who were familiar with him from the main, what's it called, Senior College Network, which is a voluntary group for people in their 70s and 80s primarily, who want to continue to learn and study. So 3 or 4 of those people were very attracted to what we were doing, and they've become members of this community of practice. And they've been introduced to Edward in Uganda, as well as to various people in Brazil now. And we continue to meet roughly once a month for the first Monday of every month in the evenings. And because of all the time differences throughout the world, we try to coordinate where it won't be too early in the morning on the West Coast of the United States and South America, but it still will not be too late here in the Middle East and perhaps a little further to our east. I could say a lot more, but I think it would probably be better, or our time would be better spent if perhaps anybody has any questions. The idea that Morani went to COP30 was to explore the possibilities to impress or inspire other people from other countries who might want to do a similar type course where they live, and that we would offer our expertise because it took a tremendous amount of time and energy to create this course. And with this, I'll finish. We were teaching Israeli school teachers who were still working. They were all English teachers, throughout the country, in the north, the center part of the country, and the south. There were Arab Muslims who were teachers, Christian Arabs who were teachers, Jews who were from the Tel Aviv metropolitan area, secular and religious and ultra-religious. There were elementary school, but primarily junior and senior high school teachers. So it was a very diverse group of people. And as I said, we probably taught in the neighborhood of 300. So over 4 years, that's about 70 plus minus teachers each cohort. And it was extremely challenging and extremely interesting because the teachers basically came online after they worked all day in classrooms with lots and lots of kids, which, if any of you have ever worked in a school environment, you know, is extremely challenging. And so after a full day of work, well, one second, my granddaughter's. Okay. Okay, you fit. That was 2.5-year-old granddaughter. Our youngest daughter just had a baby, her baby brother last week, and they're living with us. So we see the grandchildren a lot. But actually, that's the connection. And with this, I'll finish. I came to this 5 years ago because I was let me just close the door here. I was and am still very concerned about the future, which is why we called the course Caring for the Future. There's another term that we didn't coin, but it was borrowed from I don't even know where, called eco-anxiety. We observed that a lot of children, but especially teenagers, worldwide, most prominently in Europe and North America, but maybe where you folks live as well, were really afraid to make any commitments about getting married or having children or even looking for careers because they felt that the world was coming to an end, that global warming was going to result in global catastrophe. So we decided we wanted to build this course, but to focus on solutions. That's why Domenico put up Drawdown, Project Drawdown, and also the next iteration was Regeneration. Those courses or those initiatives, websites and books focus on climate solutions because it's, as we feel, it's only through practicing climate solutions that you can begin to address eco-anxiety. So that's why we went to teachers who would then bring these principles into their classrooms and reach out to the kids, again, primarily high school, but some junior high as well, to address eco-anxiety and to have their kids do projects based on climate solutions, such as composting or recycling or various other kinds of things, which I think to this group, I don't need to explain at length. So Domenico, I think we'll call that and just see if there might be any comments or questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Larry, for sharing this experience. We started our Climate Social Forum saying that soil is a common and join us. And really, thank for sharing your experience that has been like an experience that unite people and wanted to find solution. That's actually something that we really resound and we want to underline. So I don't know if there are comments for Larry. I see one in the chat, but I don't know if somebody also wants to speak out.
Hi.
I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Joan, then Emma Turk, and then also I will read the Rafik question. So, John, please.
Yeah, great. Hi, Larry. Thank you for joining us. Do you have any case studies of some of the projects that that were undertaken, and what was the impact?
No, we were not given the opportunity to do that because we were working through the Ministry of Education, and we basically taught the course very intensively. I forget if it was like 30 hours or more. And again, this was after teachers worked the entire day. And then immediately following each course, began preparing the next course. So it would have been good. It's a great question. If we were able to figure out and study what kind of impact we had. Right now, it's observational or anecdotal only. And then the Minister of Education ran out of funding. So we weren't
Yeah.
able to do another course this past year, which is one of the other reasons that gave us the or was a catalyst that said, you know what, let's see if we can expand this, not only to focus on local teachers, but to basically bring this to other people, many of whom I would imagine are like yourselves, who've been active and or activists in the climate region for many years, and to see if there might be things that we can learn from each other, as Domenico mentioned. And that's where we are right now. And by the way, anybody here is invited and welcome to join us. I see that Hashim Yusuf is here. He's been also a member of the community of practice. And there's no requirement that you have to do it every week or every month. So it's completely voluntary. And it's a great opportunity to meet people from all over the world who have similar interests.
Great,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Dr. Dumbrea, to you.
Yeah. I want to suggest something regarding the soil health and soil depletion in Maharashtra as well as in India. Okay. So actually, because of heavy rains in the month of say September and August, September, there was a heavy loss of soil in Maharashtra area. Okay. In Maharashtra area of India. And some of the parts has been vanished off, completely vanished off because of the heavy rain. So soil is the important thing I have for agriculture. Everybody knows that. But here it is a big problem regarding the soil. So that is what a big problem for soil in India. It is everywhere, I think. Not in the India, but it is everywhere in the world, I think. What is your opinion regarding this? I want to know. That's all.
Yes, thank you. Maybe it's a overall question also to the ones that are dealing with soil. If anybody wants to also interact, I don't know, Larry, if you have some comments about that, or no worries, we can share also later in the discussion. Okay. In the meanwhile, I will also read the comment in chat. Education is key, said Rafik, Mr. Larry. Well done. My question, does schools in your countries have the land able to scale up practicing workshop? That could help. What do you think?
Let me read that again for a second. I'll go into the chat. Interesting question. Before the Ministry of Education ran out of money to fund, we had a partner who is a doctor in the field of sustainability. I don't remember exactly, but very, very smart guy. And we had planned to to invite all of the teachers to do an in-person workshop in the desert. And that got derailed because of, unfortunately, the war in Gaza. We were unable to continue to do that. We may come back to it, but the answer, I think, is yes, very important to be able to do workshops, in-person workshops with teachers and with children in schools. There's nothing like, as far as we're concerned, hands-on, especially with regard to climate solutions. They have a remarkable ability to help, as I said earlier, relate to and help. I'm looking for my words. Dispel the great echo anxiety that kids have. And therefore, we felt it would be important to focus on this educational aspect as opposed to many other possibilities that are out there. None of us are scientists, except for the colleague that I mentioned a moment ago. And we're people who are involved with education. Excuse me. What is the comment? I didn't see it fast enough. There have been some who have recommended that we try to do something online and maybe distribute it worldwide. The problem with that, I have honestly mixed feelings. Because we wanted it to be interactive, I would say that 60%, if not more, of the time that we spent with the teachers, they were talking to each other. They were interacting with each other, which was very valuable because, as I said earlier, we had teachers who might be high school teachers in the Arab sector who were Muslims speaking to ultra-Orthodox Jews in Jerusalem who had a completely, and they'd never spoken or in other ways had anything to do with each other on a regular basis. And here, because of Zoom, we were able to bring them together. So we had created what we called pods, which were groups of 5 teachers where they worked together for the entire course on various projects. And even actually in answer to Joan's question, we were able to get feedback from the teachers, but we didn't get it in a comprehensive, written down scientific way. It was more verbal kinds of things where, for instance, I thought a particular teacher may have had 25 to 30 students. And then after we got to know them, he said he had excess of 250 students, which really was surprising to me because I didn't know. And he said that and they gave us examples of the kinds of things that they were doing at their schools and in their classrooms as a result of this course. And it was online and ongoing. So yeah, it would be possibly impactful if we were able to create an online course, which Domenico's friend Moran Sol, has been pushing for. But I don't know how we could make that interactive, or if we would have to basically give up on the interactivity, because if you have people taking an online Zoom course from all over the world, from East Asia and China and Japan and India, and then South America and Africa and Europe and North America, how can these people interact with each other because of the tremendous challenge of time zones? So anyway, I haven't figured out how to do it. And Morani Soul wants us to do it, but I don't know how to do it yet.
Thank you very much, Larry. And there was another question that was like in that direction. Maybe the question is can be work in progress, because Priyabhata is asking, is your project implemented worldwide? I think that you kind of responded already, but I will let you add more. How to start in India? And also, Larry, as you may know, we are always open to collaborate in case you need some help. So very pleased to give voice and give more, we can say, um,
Let me
scope.
answer, Priyabhata. I think in principle, we would very much like to see it become global and worldwide. But in practice, I don't know exactly how we're going to do that. We did a course before we went with the Ministry of Education here as a trial course that was international. I think, Domenico, you may have been part of it at the very beginning. I forget what we called it. Anyway, it had people from Mexico and from British Columbia in Canada and Scotland, the United States, Israel, and I'm probably forgetting a few other places. It was not a large group of people. It was under 20. I think we were like 18 or 19 people. But it was challenging to try to get everybody together on a Zoom call at the same time, because the person in, I think it was in either Seattle or Oregon and British Columbia and Mexico, for them it was very early in their day. And yet for those who were even further east than we are, it was relatively late in the evening. So it was possible, but it was more challenging. Maybe, as I'm thinking, Prabhata, if you have an interest, that we could actually integrate you into the community of practice and there discuss that kind of initiative together to see how we might be able to do that, how we might be able to help.
Thank you very much, Larry, and also Priyabhata. Maybe we can leave the contacts to Larry or interact. Now, I will suggest to move on. Thank you very much, Larry, for your time. It's been a pleasure, and I hope that, as I said, this possibility to exchange can open new ways and new opportunities to amplify the mutual work. Now, we were talking about education with the talk of Larry. Let's remain into the topic of education because the next speaker is a professor and basically anticipated the discussion is Priyabhata properly, Professor Priyabhata Mukherjee, that is from the Nistarini College. They are doing a lot of good practices and you can say initiative in soil protection, but also agricultural. We also somehow collaborate in some of them. Priyabhata, the floor to you. Please, you are very welcome. Also, I want to mention Priyabhata is the focal point for Climate Social Forum India. We have like a great community of Climate Social Forum fellows in India, and Priyabhata is coordinating them. So thank you very much for being with us. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Domenico. So please, can you share my slide?
Yes, let's go to that.
Yeah.
In the meanwhile, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yes. Yeah. Good evening in India, actually. So good evening, good morning, whatever your country is as per. So I'm Priyabrata Mukherjee from India. I'm professor of environmental science last 20 years. in India. It's a girls' college, Nistarani College, Purulia. I have also an international NGO and named by the Tapananda Rural Development Society. I work with Climate Social Forum from 2021, actually, after COVID episode is over. Till date, we work together with Climate Social Forum, and Dr. Domenico is very helpful in India, actually. Last year, this year, actually, we make the Agri Hackathon in Indian chapter. But last 2 year for my serious health issues, actually, I cannot part actively. But right now, I am very well as per my health condition. So I again back to our arena. And thank you for Domenico for this platform to give my this opportunity. My work actually forestry and soil and ecology, my specialization in sustainable development and wildlife management, of course with the ecology. I work with this mainly in India, and some Australian work also there. uh, some Latin American organization. We are also related with our college. We have 29 collaboration, national international collaboration uh, with our college, actually. We are do sustainable development and climate smart agriculture practice in rural areas for farmers. As you know, India is a very developing country, so the soil loss, soil degradation, deforestation, these are very prominent. Poverty is very prominent in unemployment. Okay, so these problems we fight with these problems in India. My topic or the theme of our this webinar is the food, soil, food system, and sustainable living. These are interrelated. These are nexus. Soil. My presentation actually belongs to some technical part or some you can say that scientific part of this. So understanding what is soil degradation, how it going on, and how the food supply and food qualities is affected by the soil degradation or soil deterioration, and how we overcome from these uh, issues, or how this problem we can solve in future or present days. So this is my actually subject. uh, so uh, next slide, please. Yes. Now, the soil is it is a very complex one. About 15 or 16 definition is there. But as a student of ecology, I can say it is a living entity. But engineers or geologists says it is non-living. So soil itself, a very complex in nature. It is a mixture of living and non-living thing. So you know that the 1 square centimeter for soil formed within it's take time 15,000 years. So it is not so fast process to we produce soil, isn't it? And always we deteriorate soil. Next. So soil deterioration, actually, the process of which that we lost the soil, we lost the topsoil, uh, quality of the soil also deteriorated, and our actually the total food system affected by this soil deterioration. So it is very important thing to protect our soil. Soil deterioration is a long process, after Second World War. Actually, this is more fast phase after the agriculture revolution is taking place in mainly developing country. So soil deterioration is going on still now, and the main problem is present in Africa and Asia. Actually, it is local and global problem. So it should be act locally. and for the conservation of the soil. It's very needful to conserve the soil for our food system, for our future, and different prospects of soil loss or soil deterioration is there, and different type of process we practice now that accelerate the soil deterioration process also. So it is the major global problem with significant impact that its effect on agriculture, ecosystem, biodiversity. So we need sustainable management for the soil development. Next, please. Now, actually, the what is the key process of this soil deterioration? To soil deterioration, actually, key process, the major process that we include the erosion, a different type of soil erosion are there, that real erosion, or the seat erosion, splash erosion, gully erosion, different type of soil erosion is present. Then nutrient depletion is also soil deterioration or soil degradation. We use different type of the chemical fertilizer. Our farmer now input some pesticides also that deteriorate our soil. Then compaction, so the different type of physical heavy machineries and modern agriculture machineries are used. Livestock grazing also impact on the soil, and salination is of course is a one type of that is affected by the climate change or drought, etc. Chemical pollution, another process by which the soil is deteriorated, and loss of organic matter. The topsoil is lost by the flood or by the storm, different type of storms that lost the nutrient and water also, and soil become very deteriorated entities. Then the impact of the soil deterioration or soil uh, degradation is reduce the agriculture yield actually. Then desertification is a very regional problem, land turning to desert. Actually in my district desertification is going on, isn't it? So we know how it produce a fertile land to a desert or unfertile land. So that directly affect our food security, increase the flooding and landslides, of course, and loss of biodiversity with the soil ecosystem. Soil ecosystem, biodiversity, plant diversity. Um, it is integrated with pollinator also, so they are all lost with the loss of the soil. So we can the erosion, nutrient loss, contamination, these are the all process by which the soil is continue to deteriorate.
Hello. I don't know. Maybe I think that Priyabhata has some problem with the connection. Priyabhata, are you there? I don't know. Just 1 second. So let's wait that is joining again. In the meanwhile, I will like to appreciate the presentation of Priyabhata that is also giving some scientific background on the use of soil. That's also important. So thank you very much, Priyabhata. Now let's wait that he's joining again. In the meanwhile, I'll want to remember that our session will be also available on our YouTube channel. Actually, we are streaming now on the YouTube channel, so you can subscribe and follow also the past edition of the Climate Social Forum. We are running the Climate Social Forum till the 5th edition now, Every year we are trying to engage with the one particular topic and eventually like we engage in a framework, our tracks, our discussions. We base on Talanoa dialogue, as I was mentioning yesterday. Maybe at the end of the session of today, we will also have like a practical example of Talanoa. And I invite you to follow also. We are on LinkedIn and on Instagram. So if you want to keep updated on the activity that we are doing, you can follow us in the different channels. Now let's see if Priyabrata is there. Okay, maybe he's struggling with the connection. In the meanwhile, I will ask to Professor Dumbre. Professor Dumbre, we are going a little bit also in your question with Priyabrata. And so maybe you can also interact later. And let's see if just wait and be patient for a bit. Okay, let's wait and see. In the meanwhile that we are waiting Professor Mukherjee to join back, I will share with you the document of the track that we are sharing every day, basically, depending on the track and where we are trying to collect inputs and comments over the daily track. So I will invite you to engage and contribute to the track document that now I will share with you, and also I will share my screen on. Okay, so because at the end of the conversation forum, we will gather all the inputs and all the discussions that we had into a final output, as we call, and we will let that available to on our website. Okay, so this is soil, food system, and sustainable living. We are using the Talanoa framework. So where we are, where do we want to go, how do we get there, and of course, if there are some notes. So feel free, even now, feel free to add your inputs and your comments on the session that and the speech that we heard today. Let's see if okay. In the meanwhile that you are maybe compiling the document, I will try to call to Professor Mukherjee. So please, I will leave the screen open. Just contribute in the meanwhile. Sorry for the problem. As you know, as we are live, sometime these things happen. So let's be patient over that. Okay, perfect. Professor Mukherjee, are you back?
Sorry, I'm
No
not
worries.
connected right now. I don't know from where I start.
No worries, no worries. I will share again the slide where we were, and so you can go ahead with.
I could not find that I'm out of this connection actually for internet facilities actually. Yeah,
No
I'm
worries.
sorry.
No worries.
So yeah, okay. So my actually the soil erosion, soil deterioration, I says earlier that that make our food production insecure. The yield production and yield of the all type of food now uh, decreasing as soil nutrient and soil quality degraded. So we need for sustainable living. As I discussed earlier, that sustainable living means the all changes of lifestyle, sustainable lifestyle, adaptation of sustainable lifestyle from morning to at bedtime. We should obey the principle of sustainable lifestyle, individual level, at individual level, and of course at community level, country level, regional level. So we can integrate this sustainable lifestyle. Next slide please. This soil deterioration as effect our mainly developing country and African countries also are including in this loss of soil, and that reduce the productivity, that economically and ecologically we lost valuable resources. And in future the food is very big problem, because food security is threatened by this loss of soil and unsustainable lifestyle, unsustainable policy, and unsustainable the politics actually. So all the social, political, economical entities are related with this soil conservation practices. So what we need this problem. The next slide please. We need the sustainable agriculture practices or sustainable development. So sustainable development means it is a the equality among all the community of world community. So equal rights, equal benefit sharing with not only human being but also all biological system and non-biological system also. So sustainable food production is a process by which we can make a sustainable development. Next slide. And this sustainable development or sustainable agriculture is related with the eco agriculture practices or ecological agriculture practices. Then we can also use organic fertilizers or organic farming process. Climate smart agriculture also a process by which we can make more food production and quality food production, because the pesticide using of the synthetic chemical or synthetic fertilizers degraded our food quality. So we must the proper process of organic farming, and IPM, integrated pest management, is also a good practice for sustainable agriculture practices. uh, and some other practices integrated with the sustainable agriculture practices like pollinator habitat conservation, beekeeping, etc., are also help with sustainable agriculture practices that make more food, more production, that help economically, that help our future generation also, and it also have a positive impact on our health. So all these sustainable agriculture practices, mainly eco agriculture practices, agroforestry, afforestation, these are all practices that make a sustainable agriculture practices. It's a part of sustainable lifestyle that we relate with the soil deterioration. We can conserve soil with the sustainable agriculture practices. These are the process, and we can control this soil deterioration with some engineering process, biological process also, from local to global process. But soil deterioration, soil degradation is a very very much local problem. So local government have the main responsibility. local government and local community have the main responsibility, and they need the protect soil for different a variety of technologies are there, engineering, biological, biotechnological process are there, but the problem is that there is no implementation at local level. So the problem is that our food now become insecure. Food quality, production, all are um, becoming decline very fast. So we need this implementation of program, but political and some economical causes make this impossible to implement the sustainable agriculture practices. Modern, in this trend, so sustainable agriculture practices produce less than the industrial agriculture practices. Uh, but we need to protect soil also, we need to protect biodiversity also. So we need sustainable agriculture practices, not industrial agriculture practices that need more and more input and produce more and more bad quality food. So we need conservation of soil, and we should follow the sustainable lifestyle. So thank you for this. If you have any question, then please.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Priyabata. As I was mentioning before when you were disconnected, thank you very much for bringing also scientific perspective of the topic of soil that is important in our discussion. I don't know if there are comments or questions for Dr. Priyabata Mukherjee. We will share also the presentation. Also, I'll take the chance to mention that all the presentation that we share in agreement with the authors. Of course, we are gonna share with the members and also the participants of the Climate Social Forum. If there are comments or questions, maybe. Maybe Dr. Priyabata, you can also mention some of the activities that you are doing in your Nistarini College regarding, for example, the soil preservation and agriculture. We did also some edu webinars to talk about climate change with the Nistarini College. Yeah.
Thank you. Sure, we work in our college level, and with my NGO also. We work for first in a project, a big project for sustainable climate smart agriculture practices, where we use the greenhouses. So the in under the greenhouse process, the mainly women farmers are used to cultivate different flowers and vegetables, uh, which they can sell, and they are economically benefited. Now, what is the benefit with this under the climate smart agriculture practices? They produce more agriculture crops, and quality of these vegetables and flowers are more better, far better than the without the greenhouse. So it is a costly process, but the benefit is more. So the benefit, if we analyzes the cost and benefit, then it is more beneficiary than the normal agriculture practices. The quality and the the food quality also, the nutrition quality also more under the greenhouse effect. Sorry, under the greenhouse process, and we use biofertilizer, and all we use the bio pesticides also. So there is no chemical is there. So obviously the product is very good, quality is very good, and they're getting more price in the market. So mainly women farmer use this. So this is number one project. Now we are a girls college, actually mainly all are girls student. So we are integrated the biodiversity board of West Bengal of our state. So biodiversity board we integrated, and we make butterfly garden. The green walls. We produce green walls and conservation of medicinal plants. Seed banks. We make seed banks and local seeds of agriculture crops. We conserve this under the seed banks, and we used to distribute locally with the local farmers. Uh, a butterfly garden is also a good practice of pollinator habitat conservation. Uh, Agroforestry practices also including in this process. So with our biodiversity board and our college, we do it uh, state wise all over the state. And uh, with the climate social forum, we also have Indian chapter also. So this year we use the agri hackathon. Our students also participate in agri hackathon. And one another step is crucial for health. Now, the blood donation, thalassemia awareness, and thalassemia testing. These are also we are going to organize each and every month. Rotary Club of our country is also help in this project. So this health aspect we are also directly work with the government sector and some other NGOs and international bodies. Recently, we make also a collaboration with some Latin American countries like Chile, Mexico, Brazil, Argentina also. So we make also a group in India. Climate Social Forum is my first international friend, actually, relative actually. So with this process, in this workshop, our student and teacher also participate in different way. So thank you. These are our work actually. So we have a great youth. We have actually 3,000 of students are there in our college, and all women. So they are traditionally work with the environment and work with sustainable development awareness. We always make awareness. We make rallies and implementation of the technology. So we have different department also. I am Department of Environment Science, but Department of Botany, Department of Zoology, Geography, all teachers, all faculties are interested with this work. We integrated each other and work with this community, children, child protection, women protection. We work with also this child protection and women protection. So all the SDGs actually we do, but in small scale in our local area and state level or in national level also. But if we getting more and more chance in future, we work worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you, Priyabhatra, and thank you also for this collaboration. I don't know if there are questions for Priyabhatra, for Professor Mukherjee.
Well, I'd be interested to talk to him about having a climate smart victory garden.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same concept actually. Yeah.
Yes.
And Domenico
So,
has helped me very much in this process. Domenico and Climate Smart Agriculture, he helped me very much.
oh, good. Well, never mind about Dominica. I'm thinking about having a climate smart victory garden.
Well, it's okay. It's okay. I mean,
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
we can invite Professor Mukherjee and also the colleagues from the Nistarini College to attend the course, and after that, for sure, it will be nice to engage more and so on. And
Yeah,
probably
I
talking.
just also, sorry. I noticed that you know a lot about soil. So one of the training module we have for the Master Victory Garden is a module on soil health because it's at the basis of what we're trying to achieve. So I'd be interested to talk to you about reviewing that particular. I think it's in the soil module. There's like 5 or 6 modules in the lesson. But we also, I wanted to ask you, we had a youth program with the Youth Foundation in where I live. We just live outside of Toronto in Ontario. And the youth were not used to um, handling food, growing food. And so part of their service was that they volunteered at our garden. And I wonder if you could comment on what the response of your students are, because they're sort of integrated in it. But the response from the students that we had, they had not seen, like planted a seed and then come 2 weeks and or 2 months later and see and they were so enthralled with something that they couldn't see to something that actually bore fruit. And it was a real learning lesson for them. Just they felt the achievement from starting something to sort of completing it, because they have to pick the fruit, and we donated it to the food bank. But did you experience something similar?
Yes, Johan. Actually, we have a youth group called National Service Scheme. It is a national level, okay, where 35,000 volunteers are there. We work nationwide. Yeah.
Yeah.
So our college is also a group. We have 400 dedicated students for this work. Any type of social work we do, whatever it is, a health related or climate related or environment related, all waste management, etc. Actually, we do that. The all 400 students are not same interested, isn't it? You get the 100 students that are very much interested. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So our student actually make, we make a master training for the farmers, women farmers, that we project climate smart agriculture practices, and they go to the village and usually give the training towards the women farmers. Okay, so there is a two benefit, because both are women, isn't it? Farmers are women, students are also women, so they can interact each other very more than the the male and female conflict. So number one. Number two, the students are also science based, actually, from the department of botany, department of environment science, or department of nutrition. So they also increasing the knowledge, isn't it? So practical knowledge so get.
Yeah.
So in our perspectives, students need to more and more aware about this, and getting interested. They get interest in this work, they dedicated 100%, of course, because they are youth,
Mm-hmm.
very good. The youth, I love youth, because they work totally voluntary. They have no other requirement. So
Mm-hmm.
it take time, it take time, but after you can 1 year or 2 year, you can get success if you want to work with youth, because they
Mm-hmm.
uh, donate them a 10%.
Yeah.
Yes, so it is. And
Yeah.
with the soil erosion, we need the actually soil deterioration. We need the soil protection first. Then we can make the agriculture or food security, food production, etc. But nowadays, as I said earlier, in our developing country or the African country or Asian country, so many industrialization, unsustainable mismanagement practices are there that we cannot control this, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big problem. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, oh, yes, I was with the microphone open. Sorry. So thank you very much. I saw that Professor Prapti Dande is there. We wanted to give the floor to him before. I don't know if you can just introduce yourself, Professor Dande. In the meanwhile, I saw that there is a good exchange and interaction in the chat. That's I like a lot. Professor Dande is there. If no, we can go to close the session with two things. One, I will share with you also the link to the chat of the Climate Social Forum in case you want to engage more into the organization, into the proposing activities and so on. We have like a chat on WhatsApp where we are sharing contents.
Domenico, hello.
Yeah, please.
Hello.
Yeah.
I think Prapti Dande is not cannot speak because she cannot directly speak directly in our group. Can you just unmute her? Can you unmute her?
Yeah, I can ask to unmute her. I can ask her to activate audio.
Hello.
Yes, I asked her to activate the microphone, but I cannot unmute. Prapti, are you there?
Hello.
Yeah, please.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, myself, Prapti Dhande. I'm a assistant professor of PR Pote Patil College of Agriculture. And recently, Hemant Kumar Dumre sir taking training on the apiculture, that is the beekeeping. Our students and farmers participate in this uh, training program in a more number of so they get the practical knowledge and actual entrepreneurs entrepreneurship knowledge to the students and farmers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome to Climate Social Forum, and I hope we can collaborate in the future. Now, let's close. I'll share again the document. So one kindly ask before leaving the call, put your comment, your contribution, your suggestion to the track. And now, who wants, let's now make the checkout. I will now ask anybody wants to share some final thoughts. Please raise your hand and I'll give you the floor. I don't know if there is somebody that wants to share even few words to close, to check out. So please. Okay, Michael.
Yes, dear leader, it is so very amazing and very inspiring. We have been learning a lot. Sorry, we do appreciate the initiative of this wonderful platform, and we hope really it will be more wonderful. And the last one is just to ask if it will be accessing to those different presentation, and wish you all the best for the panelists of today. Thanks.
Thank you very much. And I will remind Michael, you will be also speaker on the 30, on the last day of Climate Social Forum. I will introduce a little bit the nice activities that they are doing. And also remind that tomorrow there will be the third day of Climate Social Forum will be related on youth and education. We started already to talk about that, but we will go in deep tomorrow on always at 3 p.m. Central European Time, that is 2 p.m. UTC, and then we will send all the calendar and so on. Joan.
Oh, I just want to say how great it was to hear the speakers. And again, I keep pointing out there's so many opportunities to work together. And I think I talked to you about that before, that I think you and I will talk to put this network together, so that we can get to know each other well and see what synergies we can and become climate smart catalysts.
Great.
Yeah.
Yes, super. That's right. Thank you for pointing out and remind. Larry, floor to you. Larry.
Yes, thank you, Domenico. I just wanted to mention that I put an invitation into the chat as well as onto your document. If anyone here today would like to join our Caring for the Future community of practice, the next one will be taking place on Monday, January 5th, which is coming up. 1:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon. That's what's it called? Eastern Standard Time in the United States. So I don't know what it works out to be in the time that you were mentioning a minute ago, but it's evening here.
We will share also in the further mails of Climate Social Forum. We will make maybe the different time zone translation for everyone, so everybody wants to join can do that in the proper time zone. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Welcome. Okay, I don't see other raised hands. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me just check. Nora, please.
Hello, yes, you were wrong. Yes, hello.
Ah.
Yes, I want to thank everybody. It was very inspiring. I'm just inspired and I'm happy there are people who are so passionate who care about this so much, basically. So, yeah, that's about it. And yes, about the times. Oh my God, there are so many UTC, EST, whatever. So tomorrow this is from, can I speak Eastern Coast, if you don't mind, for a second? So
Yeah.
tomorrow this is from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., right?
Yeah,
And
correct.
then we have the caring for the future. It's 1:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m.
Yeah, I think so. In
No,
East
not
Never.
tomorrow. No, next
Ah,
week.
that is for the first, right? The first of the this is the first Monday of the month, right?
That's correct, Nora.
Yes, okay. And then tomorrow it's shorter, it's 1 hour, right? It's from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. or
No,
not?
you mean
I'm confused.
the Climate Social Forum or Caring for the Future? What do you mean?
The caring for
Climate
the
Social.
future.
Okay.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. I'll go baby steps. So it's okay. I'll go. So it's 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.
Yeah.
I got it. Anyway, I'm not going to take anyone's time, but I want to thank everyone. It was really amazing.
Thank
And
you,
I'm
thank you,
looking
Nora.
forward to more, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, Nora, for joining us. Okay, now
Thank you.
I think that there are no other raised hand, so we can close. Thank you very much for this amazing session, and see you tomorrow at the third day of Climate Social Forum. So have a nice rest of the day to everyone, and see you. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.